Have you been looking for a female chiropractor in Oakland? Well, I'm Dr. Sandy Baird. I am owner of Riverstone Chiropractic here in Oakland, California, and I wanted to let you know about a really interesting study that just came out this week. It was in the Journal of Chiropractic and Manual Therapies, and it was two researchers from Switzerland, Humphreys and Peterson. So they looked at the difference in treatment outcomes between female chiropractors and male chiropractors in the treatment of patients who had neck pain. So there's more and more females becoming chiropractors, and this has become relevant, and researchers set out to look at the differences. So far there's been no studies looking at the differences, so the hypothesis was that there is going to be no difference in treatment outcomes. There's two common misconceptions that I wanted to address about female chiropractors. So number one is that we may not possess the strength that a male chiropractor would to perform a chiropractic adjustment. And the second one out there is that, and it's almost kind of flip-flopped of the first, is that some patients prefer a female chiropractor because they assume that her treatment is going to be more gentle. And then one thing I just want to point out, in this study, they didn't say anything about gender, right? So they looked at chiropractic sex. So that is, a female chiropractor in this study is someone who is assigned a female sex at birth, and a male chiropractor in this study is someone who is assigned a male sex at birth. For example, a female-born chiropractor who identifies as non-binary or masculine of center would be counted as a female chiropractor in this study. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's look at the nuts and the bolts of the study. So they looked at 849 people, and about 500 of these people were women and the rest were men. They looked at anybody who had neck pain for any length of time. So they did two questionnaires, and then they did follow-ups at 1 week, I think it was 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months. They looked at the same questionnaires, and then one additional documentation, which was the patient's impression of their change. And what did we find after? I'm jumping right into it. There's some other information I want to share with you, but just jumping into the results, at 1 month, the patients who had seen the female chiropractors reported a proportionately higher treatment outcome. And then at 3 months, significantly higher. So go females. One other thing that came out of this study is that there is a gender concordance preference. And I actually think it's a sex concordance preference. I just want to be clear about those terms, but that's what they call it, and that's what it's been teased out in other studies in the past, that there's this definite preference for female chiropractors if you are a female patient. So where was I going with that? So we've got the gender concordance preference that's been shown. There were more females in the study who had neck pain than male patients, and they went to more female chiropractors. Okay, so some things to look at after knowing these results. It's great that it was a really big sample size, but it was only one study. So I would want to see more studies going across more populations and more cultures. Second, I would like to see technique normalized. So what I mean by that is that there's many different techniques in chiropractic, and these researchers did not ask the doctors to standardize their technique. They said just go in and treat how you would normally treat. We only want to look at the difference between male and female. We want to take technique out of it. So I think it would be interesting to pick one technique at a time and look at that and see if we still see the same differences. And then I think another thing that would be really helpful is information from patients. So patient questionnaires, patient surveys, details about what it is in their opinions that made them feel more comfortable with female chiropractors. I think that would be able to inform both male and female chiropractors in terms of taking in that information and that feedback, and then doing what we can to improve our practice and make it more comfortable for patients. So that's the study that came out this week. If there's any more details that I forgot, I'll include them down below in the description here. If you are looking for a female chiropractor in Oakland, I would love to talk with you. I offer a free consultation, so you can just call me up and chat and let me know what's going on with you, and we can talk about if and how I would be able to help you. So if you'd like to do that, the office number is 510-465-2342. And please subscribe on YouTube. I've got a lot of other content, lots of good tips and tricks, and we'll see you on the next video. All right, thanks, bye-bye.